Welcome back to the 9th episode in this series covering the strange and obscure photos of people found online just before something unfortunate happens to them. Many photos have been covered in previous episodes, and we have more to look at in this one. I want to share a disclaimer to please be mindful of any victims that I will be going over and their stories. This video could likely be unsettling to some viewers. With that being said, I'm glad you're here. Let's begin. In December of 2004, an earthquake causing a powerful tsunami that is still considered the worst in history took place, causing enormous damage and taking the lives of over 200,000 people. The woman centered and posing in this photo is Deborah Garlick, visiting Thailand. By appearance, it seems to be a typical and harmless photo. I'll come back to this one. A 10-year-old girl named Tilly Smith was at a beach just before the tsunami arrived at their location. She recalls seeing the beach water suddenly having fizzy bubbles and fish swimming away. She told her mother it was strange. Tilly had just learned about tsunamis in a geography lesson at school 2 weeks before it hit. Suddenly things clicked, and she warned those around her to evacuate, and so they began. Her quick wit saved lives. Tilly Smith was awarded with the Thomas Gray Special Award of the Marine Society and Sea Cadets for saving 100 tourists' lives along with her parents by predicting the tsunami. This is an example of how a tsunami can arrive to land in just minutes, unleashing chaos after a nearby earthquake. This roll of film was recovered and is unfortunately the last photo of Deborah Garlick. The tsunami was moments away at the time that this picture was taken. Deborah's parents wanted her to stay local around this time for the holidays, but she would end up on vacation with her partner in Thailand, which is the one who took the picture of her. Unfortunately, neither one of them would survive. This is an overhead view of the beach one day before the incident. It's 2013, and a group of friends are posting for a photo in Beirut, Syria. This is another photo where the threat is not obvious in the picture. It seems this could be any regular photo of friends, and in fact that's all it was intended to be, as they were all classmates hanging out together. The young man here in the red is named Mohammed El-Shar, and unfortunately moments later he would be the victim of a blast from the gold vehicle behind them. Shrapnel had struck his head, and the blast made a big impact in the area around them. His friends all suffered minor injuries, but unfortunately Muhammad would not make it. His friends posed with a photo of him at the location of where he was last laid alive. The explosion had nothing to do with Muhammad. Someone trying to make a political message took the lives of innocent people. Depending on the breed, being a snake owner can be dangerous. Dan Brandon showed enthusiasm for snakes starting at the age of 15. From this point forward, he would buy snakes and take care of them. I assume you probably think you know where this is going, but hang on. Let's see. As Brandon got older, he got new snakes, and one of them was bigger than the rest, naming her Tiny. Brandon's mom recalls that Tiny was a protective snake. For example, when she would go into Brandon's bedroom, the snake would sometimes give her a warning hiss. This usually happened anytime that she would be around him, and it was a way of letting her know that he's mine. Brandon's mom took it as a caring reaction. However, one evening while Brandon's mother was cooking, she heard a loud thud come from his bedroom. She opened his door, and he was lying face down. And she also noticed Tiny wasn't in her vivarium. There is something strange about this story though. Unfortunately, Brandon didn't survive. A giant snake was in Brandon's room in the corner, and Brandon's mother discovers his body in the center. She told the court she had no idea what happened. A professor named John Cooper, a veteran snake keeper, said that Brandon's reptiles were in impressive conditions, following up that Brandon wasn't owning these reptiles for macho reasons. He finds it hard to believe that Brandon didn't know how to unwrap himself from this python. The coroner even found it odd as well, considering Brandon had no marks around his neck and chest. The coroner suggests it's possible Tiny wrapped around his neck and that Brandon tripped. Although, the only hemorrhages were in one of his eyes. In addition to that, he had a recently fractured rib. What do you think? mystery. Michael Rockefeller, son of one of the most richest families, graduated Harvard in 1960, had disappeared in a very poor region without a trace at the age of 23, leaving mystery and rumors along the way. Michael had traveled to lands in New Guinea, now known as the Netherlands, for his works of arts and studies. Michael was visiting with the Asmat tribe, whom he collected woodwork art from and had an interest in the ritualistic canon. On the day before departure, Michael and Renee Wassing, a Dutch anthropologist who accompanied Michael, were to take a riverboat down a specific direction as informed by their tour guide. It would be a little longer in distance, but it would be the safest route. They traveled the river with a double pontoon. The conditions of the water were heavy. Then their boat became swamped, and unfortunately it overturned. When managing to come back up, Michael told Renee he was going to make a swim for it. 14 miles away, he would never be seen again. This is Sarah Funk, a travel vlogger and YouTuber. She visited the country of Cyprus in 2017 with her boyfriend. I'm curious, at first glance, does something look off to you? During their travel, they came across a lake here that is tinted red. It could appear as if it could be blood. However, what was known at the time is that the color comes from the copper from a nearby mine. But here's where things get a little strange. Sarah's boyfriend had made some jokes and remarks around the lake. He told Sarah that it felt like the area they were in is what murder episodes were made of. He also said that he sensed that death was around them. Not long after Sarah and her boyfriend left the lake, police had conducted an investigation of the area, finding a woman's body in a nearby mine shaft. It turned out that several bodies were in the lake Sarah and her boyfriend had just visited. The bodies were linked to a 35-year-old serial killer who had dumped them there. Police recovered a suitcase with a body in it, and they had stated that Sarah was likely next to it in her photo. Sarah released a statement after that, stating that it felt eerie there, but at the time she didn't notice anything out of the norm. Like and subscribe for more stories of obscure things caught on camera, film, and other strange things. That's all for this one, and I'll see you all at the next one. And until next time, take care.